Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing yesterday's video. We're going to install the Armytrix exhaust here behind me on the GTR. I got the cob downpipes on yesterday. We still have to put the intakes on, but I got all the wiring hooked up and the O2 sensors. I'm going to throw the exhaust on. We'll get that all back in and then get all the skid plates and everything on the bottom of it. And then I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time today. Get the intakes on. We aren't going to start it only because we put downpipes on it and the exhaust and the intakes. We were talking to Sasha from On Point Dyno. He's going to be the gentleman that's doing the tune on it. He says that it's better off to bring it down to him, not to start. He's like, it's going to run like crap with the new downpipes on and the high flow. He's like, it's going to throw all kinds of codes to the O2 sensors. Rather than do that, I think we're just going to take it down and get it dynoed. I'll just get Big John to tow it down for us. I don't think we're going to start it up, but I will do a video of it on the dyno, the numbers that it pushes, and then I did make some clips of it with the stock exhaust, and then we'll do a clip of the valves closed on it, and then one with the valves open. We'll do a couple drive-bys, stuff like that. So we will get some sound clips up, but for right now, we're going to get the exhaust on. I want to get that buttoned up so I can get the skid plates back on and get it back on the ground, and then everything else that we're doing is underneath the hood, so we'll be good to go. So I'm going to set the cameras up, and we're going to get on it. So what I just moved there, the exhaust did rub right back here on the heat shield, and when we moved it around, it made a bit of a noise. So I just bent that heat shield back, because I don't want to make any noise. But exhaust is in. Now, the fit and finish of this is unbelievable. Like this thing is so clean. All the way down. It fits, you know what I mean? They said, oh, there's a 25 mil gap. Like, it's 25 mils bang on all the way across. Beautiful, beautiful exhaust. So I'm going to get up there now. I'm going to run the vacuum lines. So the vacuum lines are going to come down. They're going to come over the top of this cradle. And then they're going to run and they're going to tie in. There's one and there's one. So I'm going to run those vacuum lines and get that hooked up. Then I can put this bottom panel back on. I can put that front skid back on, the mid skid back on, and then it'll be back down on the ground. But it is an absolutely phenomenal exhaust. It is, it's everything that we wanted. I think when the blue tips go on, it's just gonna set the car off. And yeah, Armytrix even sent us the a banner to hang up in the shop. Looking good. And yeah, so I'm gonna run that vacuum hose. I gotta get it from underneath the hood, run it down. I'll show you guys, because there is an OBD2 port that I've got to plug into the OBD2, and then it's all plug and play from there. And then there's a wireless adapter so we can turn the exhaust open and close when we want. So I'm gonna put it down on the ground. I'm gonna run some plumbing, get it down underneath the way we need. I'll zip tie it everywhere we need, and then climb up top and figure out what we need to do up there. Okay, guys. So down underneath here, I've done it a little different than the way the instructions ask you to do it. Let's see if I can get a good angle, because the instructions ask you to do it a little bit screwed up. So there's a grommet. See that grommet up there that the blue wire is running through? Let's see if I can get that. So you can see up there, right up there, that's where the wire to go into the system goes. And what I did is I ran it down. They want you to zip tie it to some wires and then just have it hanging underneath. I ran it down up over this here kick panel that's here, like this. I ran it down, and then I plugged in the OBD2, so there's the plug, and then I ran it in behind and ran it out like this. This is now in the fuse box, so I can tuck that into the fuse box. I'll throw this up on here, like so, and the car looks OEM. No wires hanging down, very clean, very tidy. You can see that if you do need to get access to the OBD2, you can pull that off. So when we're tuning it or whatever, you can plug in the OBD2 for the computer, whatnot, and then just plug that back in when you need to, and everything's tucked in behind the fuse panel, making it all nice and clean. So that's on the inside of the car. Now, on the outside of the car, again, I ran it a little differently than the way they wanted it to. So it runs. This is the rubber. Let me see if I can get the light there. Oh, can't really get a good sight here, guys. So this is the rubber vacuum line. I ran it down in behind this firewall over to that side, and it goes down by the battery. So this comes in. This is the blue wire that I ran through that grommet that's down there. So you can see it again down there, the grommet. It comes up, it plugs into the valve. This is the exit hose. This is the vacuum line that's going to go all the way back to the valves for the exhaust. And again, this is the one that comes across. It goes across there, and then it goes all the way across the firewall and down the battery in the wheel well. And I'm going to zip tie it to all of the fuel lines all the way to the back, make that nice and clean. And then here, this is the inline that goes into this valve. So for that valve to fasten it down underneath here, there's a bolt on the firewall. See it down in there? I took that bolt out and I bolted that with the bracket to there. This outline now comes out. It runs all the way underneath here, and it comes out right in there. You can see it. That's where it comes out into the engine bay. From the engine bay, guys, it runs down. Again, I like tucking it away. I want it to look OEM, but the valve, you can see that little white valve down there. And then here, let me see if I can see it. Right there, that line right down there is the original vacuum line, the vacuum source. So you unhook that, you put a little piece of tube there, you run it to this T that you can see there. There's the original vacuum line coming, so it's teed in there, and then this T here runs into that valve and then all the way along and into the engine. So not a super hard setup. And a matter of fact, Armytrix does a really good job being like a bolt-in system. I changed it up a little bit from what the instructions say just because I want it clean and I don't want anybody to know. I don't like all the hoses and everything underneath the hood. I want it to look OEM, so that when I put this here back on, right, I'll throw that on like so, nice and clean. Same thing over to here. I've got the battery unhooked right now, but again, down in there, the line goes down. I had to take this off and it runs down, and you can see the line coming out there. It comes down inside the wheel well. So that's there, and again, when I put that on and close it, the engine bay is going to look OEM. You won't be able to tell that it's there. It's not a bunch of lines all over the place. So I'm going to get it back in the air. I'm going to finalize the line. I'm going to run it down along the side. I'll zip tie it all nice and clean, and when I get to the back, and then I'll update you once it's completely done, finished. Okay, so from down underneath, again, you can't really see, but it comes down in there. That's why I brought it down in behind the battery box, and you can see it. Now when you're zip tying, I will tell you this, when you're zip tying these, you definitely don't want to pinch the line, because this is a soft rubber line. Obviously if you pinch it, the vacuum's not going to work. So it's there, it's holding, but I haven't reefed on it. And I threw a couple extras on there because I didn't like the number of clamps, zip ties they gave me. I put bigger zip ties on, but runs all the way down. So here we go. Now, I got back here. Again, I didn't run it the way they wanted to. I ran it up. It goes up here. You can see it goes up over the gas can. Then, I've got it tucked away. Now, I did take a little bit of messing around, but I've got it tucked up there and zip tied the lines right out here. Zip tied the lines. So you can see there's zip tie up by my hand. Then it comes out here and it goes up across the top and it comes out right up in here. So you can see that line. There it is up there. Not sure where you can see it. It comes in. I've got it all zip tied across. When it comes across, I still have to cut that zip tie off, obviously. And it comes off, and there's the T right there. And I got just a little zip tie holding it to there. And it's going to keep it up away. Now, this is high temp, obviously rubber, but I wanted to make sure that that stayed away from the exhaust. So I made it just long enough that it's going to hang there and it's going to stay away from the exhaust. And that's it. It's nice and tight. It looks OEM. You can't tell that it's there. All we got to do is throw the body panels back on this, the tips, and I can put it back on the ground. So really happy with it. Really nice system, like very, very nice system. Definitely happy with the fit and finish. I mean, it's just, you know, everything is just so perfect on it that I would not suggest buying anything else. If you've got a GTR, this is what I would buy for sure. So I'm going to, before I forget, I'm going to cut this here because I don't like having that hanging around. That's it. I'm going to throw some tips on. We'll tighten the tips up, and got a couple bottom body panels go on, and away we go. So I don't like putting the body panels on. It's the same as taking them off. It's not that hard, guys. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Everything else is done. Like I say, the wiring, I showed you how everything's done. Again, guys, I've said it before. I'll say it many times. It doesn't matter what car it is. All the cars are held together with bolts and nuts. So if you've got a nice car, you've got a high-end car, you feel like you need to take it to the shop, a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. You know what I mean? Don't get too rambunctious. Just take your time and pluck away at it, and everything will turn out nice. So again, for those of you that are tuning in because we're installing the Armytrix exhaust on the GTR, the channel is not about the GTR. The channel is about a 1997 Toyota Supra that we are building strictly on the votes of subscribers. It is getting a Veilside 4509 GTR body kit put on it. It is getting a 700 horsepower single turbo 2JZ. The interior still needs to be voted on. Everything we do to the car, guys, you guys decide what you want done to it. When we're done, we will be giving it away to one lucky subscriber. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win the car. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.